insight into what it's like for the players on the pitch right now?
It's always a bit nervous, Dwayne, because the players really want to make sure that they implement every detail of the game that the coaches have been preparing for throughout the week. But of course, at the end of the day, it's just the 90 minutes that matter for application and just to make sure that you always consistently stay in the game.
You've played in what is a ballroom as we take a look at Desiree Ellis, now a three-time CAF Coach of the Year. She picked up the Women's Coach of the Year award at the CAF Awards just 48 hours ago. It's Johnny to inspire something from South Africa. Wade needs to work it back. Mato, who is the only South African ever to score in a Women's Africa Cup of Nations final. This ball goes finally for Lesane, who's constantly got her nose in the right areas as Johnny goes up for the challenge. It'll be a free kick to Morocco. Big Miluni Nagash back onto her feet. Ifina Johnny. We're expecting a bruising battle, but looking to show a little physicality in the opening moments. Renan Medlos watches on. And he's looking to add Women's Africa Cup of Nations title to his enormous list of honours already. He's won the UEFA Women's Champions League twice. There's Nuku Matlo, Rosella Ayan. Should be a significant battle. Is expected to inspire their countries with significantly different roles here tonight. I want to talk about the stadium, I want to talk about this venue because the Morocco players were met with absolute delirium. It wasn't just a fervent fan base, it was delirium when they arrived for the pitch inspection and for the warm-up and indeed sing the national anthem and played. You know what it's like. You played in Equatorial Guinea against Equatorial Guinea. What does that add? Towards Msuri, and that's lovely from Bambadani Mbane. And a ball that might very well meet with Supasenwe, who's inside the 18-yard area. Stays on her feet here, Supasenwe. She's got two players to pick out. South Africa have the opening goal of this final. It's come just beyond the hour mark. And Hilda Machaya has tapped it home, her second goal of the tournament. She scored against Nigeria. She's now scored in the final. And for the first time in a Women's Africa Cup of Nations final, South Africa lead. They never led in 2000, they never led in 2008, in 2012 they were always behind, and in 2018 they did not score. But in 2022, South Africa are in front, and it has come through persistence. Supasenwe is staying on her feet here superbly, and then Machaya, right place, right time, slots it home fairly comfortably, but the hard work already done.
A great build-up leading up to that goal with the likes of Bambanani Mbane just collecting the second ball, making sure that she drives the ball all the way through to Jermaine Supasenwe, who I think with her pace and their partnership with Machaya, they always have one up their sleeves. And perfect timing, perfect execution, and well converted by Hilda.
The pained expression from Hanan Eid El Hajj, but the absolute joy. Mbane played her part in that goal. And now the crowd on their feet. They are baying for blood. They are hoping to encourage Morocco to a response. Only the second goal South Africa has ever scored in a WAFCON final. Nuku Matlo scored by a double. Supasenwe involved again. Dlamini keeps this ball in play. And then to Machaya after El Shad tried to block that ball.
El Shad just caught there with the anticipation, with the ball just bouncing and skidding off her. But of course, Hilda always just lurking in that box to make sure that she picks up the pieces. A forced error, but yet again, the South Africans keep imposing themselves.
South Africa imposing themselves on their opponents now. This game is opening up, and it needs to open up for both Morocco and South Africa. South Africa have a cushion goal. They have a little bit of something to fall back onto, but they find themselves now 18 minutes away from claiming glory after 4 previous heartbreaks in a final. And Amanda, you know all too well what it's like, and you know all too well what it must be like for the Moroccan players at the moment. They must surely still believe they can work their way back into this final, but this is going to be tough.
I think the Moroccans really met their match, and in that respectfully saying so, a very well organized South African side, a team that also loves to have ball possession, to rotate the ball, get those combinations. They play similar styles, but it's just, I think, the matter of energy. The Moroccans just seem to not have the necessary steam in today's game, hence the tempo of the game, which was more at the walking pace.
Well, speaking of walking, I can tell you that there are throngs of people that are filing their way out of the venue. They are Morocco fans that believe this game is done as they make their way out of the Prince Mullah Abdullah Stadium here in Rabat. The only team to have won all their matches so far at WAFCON are now leading by 2-0 in the final. Supasenwe with the ball forward. Jane back to Supasenwe in a little bit of space. Can she add to the goal tally? Tesane is going to be offside, but she goes around the outside, looks to tee up a teammate. And Fulusa Biana's effort has gone beyond Ermishi. And indeed, the offside flag eventually raised.
The offside flag eventually raised, but a beautiful run from Nokolo Tesane just to creep in behind as the third man running. But the assistant referee noted that one very well. Concerns once again for the Moroccan defense, who just seem not to be able to track the South African attacking three, with Jermaine Supasenwe doing ever so well to just drop into those pockets of spaces to allow Hilda as well as Nokolo Tesane to bomb up forward.
Well, we spoke about Morocco needing to do something, and it looks like they've got the former captain Najat Badri making herself available and readying to make her way onto the pitch as Janet traps this ball and now looks to sprint upfield. Biana knocks the ball out wide into the path of Makhaya, who's sitting on a hat-trick. Would not be the first hat-trick in a final. Bertjan has previously achieved that, but there's still 15 minutes for Makhaya to write her name in history in neon lights. Supasenwe, Biana, Dlamini, 15 minutes to play.
I think the South Africans have been to the final for so many times, and it would be so rewarding if they win the trophy.
Lovely chance here for Morocco. Can Tagno get them back in? Rachel! Morocco are fighting their way back in here. Rosella Ayane gets the first goal from open play in this tournament. And South Africa, trying to keep it composed at the back, have found themselves caught on the break by a rampant Morocco, who are trying to inspire themselves after the crowd had gone quiet. But the stadium utterly enlivened again as Ayane gets her second of the tournament.
Ayane once again just showing up at the right time. South Africans just a lapse in concentration, dispossessed in their own half, and the Moroccans punish them. But once again, great vision from the likes of Tagnaout just to get in there, give that cross back, and Ayane says thank you.
Ayane with a fine goal that capped off a magnificent move from Morocco. Jiraidi heavily involved, Tagnaout with the square ball, and then the finish from the England-based striker. Of this Total Energies Women's Africa Cup of Nations final. Morocco against South Africa. The second half has been a superb advertisement for women's football on the continent. That is it. That is the final whistle. South Africa, after 5 attempts, have finally claimed glory in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations final. They achieve immortality as they claim their first title in the WAFCON. Morocco are defeated for the first time in the tournament. South Africa march on, but Morocco outmatched, outclassed, outplayed. South Africa out of this world. They are champions for the first time. Makhaya's brace and Ayane's consolation goal, ultimately the 3 goals scored in the second half, but it is delight and glory and cheer and joy, celebration and elation for South Africa, but feel for Morocco playing in front of their home crowd. They are your champions of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2022, South Africa. A moment to celebrate, a moment to savour. South Africa are champions. They have achieved the unprecedented. They have set new parameters of what is capable. They believed in the impossible, and they have achieved a dream.
We'd like to thank you all for the support at the St.